Shut up and sit
You
down.
live once again from the Bonfire Studios North. It's another episode of Toros Weekly. I'm your host, Peter Theodos, and returning from the dead is Mr. Ken Odek. Well, okay.
Right on cue.
So not quite
Yeah, not
fully
quite.
returned from the dead.
If you had listened to the games this weekend, you'd know that.
I was busy working.
Yeah.
But anyways, speaking of the games this weekend, everything that we wanted from the Toros ourselves happened. Obviously, we got the 4 points, the much-needed 4 points.
Well, really, this time of year, that's all you want is 4 points out of a weekend. It was. I don't know that it was our necessarily cleanest games that we've played all season, but 4 points is 4 points, and moved now 5 points ahead of the Wilderness with their win on Friday and overtime loss on Saturday. So we pick up 1 extra point of distance there, and with 3 games in hand, we should be a little bit more comfortable in the playoff race, but still need, I believe, 12 points to clinch a playoff spot. So we're not home free yet.
6 points coming up this week, which we'll touch on at the end of the show. First off, of course, Miss Helen Zahn. Nana's watching, so shout out to Nana once again. And Bruce Huffert says hi to you and me. So,
Yeah.
Bruce, thanks for watching, as always. So we'll get right to it. We'll bring in our guests. Our guests this week are Mr. Cade Stibbe and Mr. Sam Skinner. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. Sam, welcome back to the show.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
We'll start with you, Stibbe. 10 points in your last 7 games. What's been clicking for you recently here?
I think our line has just been, playing hard and playing well together, and I think we're just making plays. So,
Your line has 22 points in those games. So it seems like that line is, which has been dominant most of the year, cooled off there for a little bit. It seems like they're coming back on. What's been working for that line?
yeah, I think we were good at the beginning of the year, and we went kind of through a little slump there, but we've just, stuck to what we've been doing, keeping it simple, and it's just kind of been working for us lately. So hopefully that keeps going forward.
Fans, if you do have questions, I am monitoring the Facebook. Ken, you're monitoring
YouTube and Twitter.
So yeah, just drop a question for either one of these guys or ourselves. We don't get asked a lot of questions here.
I'm gonna throw one at Skins. Sam, you're now the single season points leader for Toros defensemen. Did you realize that was on the table for you, and how does it feel to have the most points by a Toro defenseman in a single season?
Yeah, it's a really cool feeling. I honestly had no idea until pretty much today. I know you told me about it over family weekend, and just didn't really even cross my mind. So it's pretty cool. It's just a great feeling.
You've obviously made a huge jump since last season.
Yeah.
Obviously you expect to get better and progress as your junior career goes on, but were you expecting to be this much better this quickly?
No, I mean, I trained hard in the summer, and that's all you can really hope for, I gained a lot of confidence this year, so.
Talking about stats, Stibbe, you are actually only 4 goals away from becoming the 4th member of the Toros this year to score 20 goals. Have you been keeping an eye on anything like that? Does that kind of stick with you in the back of your mind as you've been playing?
I think everyone kind of knows where they're at, but I just try to take it game by game and just do what I can for the team, and if that be making plays or scoring goals or whatever it is, that's just kind of what I focus on.
Did you have an individual goal for yourself coming into the year, whether it be 20 goals or 30 points, or did you have a number in mind at the start of the year, or really just kind of take it as it comes?
Yeah, I think you come into the year and you just kind of got to take it game by game and just see how you're playing. But then obviously as the season goes on and you see that you're close to certain numbers, you obviously want to do your best to hit them. But yeah, I just take it game by game.
How about you, Skins? Did you have any kind of personal goals coming in aside from going D1?
Kind of like Stibbe said, just you kind of take it game by game, and then once you get closer to those numbers, you kind of try to set your goal for that, and then once you hit that, then you up it.
Now, this year's team, we've never had 3 guys score 20 in a season. Obviously, we've got that between Russ, Clev, and Nick. Stibby, you've got a chance to be the fourth. As I mentioned, Skinner, no defenseman's put up points like you've put up in Toro history. So what has been the key to this team being so good offensively? Second in the league at 3.9 goals a game. It seems like you guys can pretty much score at will all season long.
It's definitely, I think we're just a really skilled, fast team. And other teams, they can't keep up with our speed. So we just, once we get the pucks in deep and just grind them out, they can't really handle us.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for our team is just when we're moving our feet, we're really, really hard to play with, especially in the offensive zone. We have skilled players that make skilled plays, and when you're doing that at high speeds, it's hard for other teams to defend it.
Okay, so I'm going to ask a hard question now. You mentioned a lot of skill, a lot of speed, a lot of offense, but power play is ranked pretty low down. I think 14.9%, something like 20th or 21st in the league. What has been in the players' opinions? I've talked to Shane during intermissions. I've talked to Marty during pre-games, but from a player's perspective, what has been the trouble behind maybe some of the power play offense?
I think it's been getting better. I know we went through like quite a big slump where we couldn't even get the puck in the zone for a while. Then we started to figure that out, and I think we're right on the edge of scoring every time we get it in there, and we get chances, but we just can't bury it. So I think we're close.
Yeah, Skinner and I are on separate units, but I'd say for both units, it's just about being a little bit more crisp, like just making crisper passes, quicker plays, and I think we're just about like half a step away from really having success on it.
Yeah, how deadly will, when you guys do start clicking, how deadly will the offense be already? Like I said, the second-ranked offense in the league, 3.9 goals a game. Obviously, 5-on-5, you guys are really, really strong. So have you thought about how deadly it'll be once you can start popping maybe one or two a game on the power play as well?
Oh, yeah. That's a huge difference in a game, too. Sometimes you only get one power play, and if you make it count, that could be the game winner, you know?
Yeah, obviously special teams are really important, and if we can dial it in here for the stretch run and playoffs, it'll be really good for us.
You know, one of the things that really has been working this year for the team has been the penalty kill, actually. And Ken, you probably know all the stats off the top of your head, unlike I do. But what's been working for the penalty kill this year? Because you guys really haven't given up very many goals.
Yeah, just working hard. That's all you got to do on the penalty kill. You got to be committed to blocking shots and just putting it all out there on the penalty kill.
Yeah, we got all our penalty killers are super hard workers and make just every effort to get every puck out and every shot blocked. So,
Couple of fan questions for you guys. Wally Mock checking in, asking what your guys' pregame routines or superstitions are.
Usually, Friday game, JoJo and I go to Panera, get a good meal in us, and then just go home, take a nap, and then basically the same thing before every game. Go in, take my stick, and then just get ready for the game.
Are you a left to right guy or right to left when you dress?
Right to left.
Cade?
I'm left to right. I'd say, I usually take an ice bath like once a week. But pregame, I kind of switch it up. Like if I'm playing well, I'll just kind of keep doing what I did like the game before. But if I'm not, then I'll switch something up. So.
What about Skins? You said you had a Panera before games. How does your home routine vary from your away routine? Obviously, not having the ability to drive to Panera.
Yeah, it's a little different. But still get a good meal in and then a nap after. So it's almost the same, but I definitely like Panera a little better than some of the meals we get.
I better behave myself. I'm not going to say what I wanted to say.
I bet if you did ask
Burgers
nicely,
and tacos.
I bet if you did ask nicely, I think Brad might take you on the bus to go get Panera. If you ask nicely, knowing Brad. Another fan question. This is one from Bruce Hoffert. Does a midweek game affect how or what you work on for the weekend games?
I think a little bit, yeah. In practice, we kind of take it easier. it's like an hour practice, and it's just like flow drills mainly because you don't want to tire our legs out. So
Yeah, we're not usually if we have weekend games, we'll go pretty hard Monday and Tuesday. But when you have a game on Wednesday, it kind of throws all the practices off, so it's a little easier, and it's also a little different. You gotta mentally like get into it on Monday and Tuesday. Whereas sometimes if you got weekend games, maybe your Monday Tuesday practices aren't as sharp.
Would you guys prefer to have midweek games or just to have a regular full week of practice?
I would much rather have a regular full week of practice.
I would also just rather have practices all week.
Even this time of year with practices kind of maybe, yeah, it's not like you guys are installing systems or stuff like that. Yeah, you'd rather still practice all week than get to play?
Oh, yeah. It definitely gives you a chance to rest a little more. And especially this far into the season, body's getting worn down a little bit. So
Yeah, I agree.
How hard is it going to be with these 9 games over 3 weeks?
Yeah, we got a lot of tough teams coming up. We definitely need to win.
Yeah, I think we just all of us need to like take care of our bodies, get the right sleep, take ice baths if you need them. Just do whatever you need to do to just be ready for every single game and not take one off.
Skins, you've been in this situation before.
Yeah.
What's it going to take for this team to get that big push and get back into the playoffs?
I think this team, we're young, and I think we really just need to focus on the games coming up and not worry about anything else, and then just work as hard as we can, take it one game at a time.
11 games left on the schedule, 7 of them at the Mesa. It's a full quarter of our home schedule still in front of us here. Will not having to get on the bus as much. Yes, we have the long trip to Austin this week, but for the most part, the only other trip's Aberdeen. Will playing at home help with the fatigue?
I think so. I mean, spending 12 hours on a bus is not really ideal for your legs and for your mental, I guess. So
Yeah.
You guys, with 7 left at home as well, how much of a boost do you guys get from the home crowd? Do you guys feel it when you're down on the ice when the Mesa's rocking? Like, I think back to it must have been, I forget if it was the December game or the January game against Bismarck where we had to kill the 5-on-3 in the final couple minutes there.
Yeah.
And then they pulled the goalie to get the 6th guy out there, and the place was just rocking. Like, do you guys feel that on the ice?
Oh, yeah. It's definitely so cool when the crowd starts cheering. Once you get them into it, you definitely have a big momentum swing your side.
yeah, for sure. When the crowd is buzzing and you're just, after a whistle, you're just skating down the ice. You just kind of look both sides and everyone's just going crazy. It's definitely a boost.
Yeah.
Do you think having played with bigger crowds at the Mesa, going to other rinks and not facing that same size crowd, do you think that better prepares you or makes it a little harder to play because you're not getting that extra energy?
Sometimes it's a little harder. Like when the crowd's just dead silent, it kind of gives you a boost because you're doing something right. But sometimes it's just so awkward, Like it just feels like there should be some noise, and it's definitely a different game.
Do you ever feel that way? We were talking about weekday games coming up. We've got weekday games the next 3 weeks. I know our crowds are typically smaller on weekdays. The fans that are there are trying their best, but it's, no matter how hard they try, 700 people aren't going to make the same amount of noise as 2,000. Is there ever a bit of a letdown when we're playing at home on a weekday and there's only 700 people there?
I mean, I don't really think it's like a huge letdown, but like obviously, like you said, when the crowd's going wild, it's more of a boost. So.
Yeah, they get pretty loud still on the Wednesday games.
Aberdeen, Bismarck, Austin, and the Wilderness all still on the schedule. Not to pick on St. Cloud, but the easier games are off the table now.
Yeah.
So looking at it, is there an opponent out of those 4 that sticks out to you guys?
Aberdeen sticks out for me. They just, I don't know, they know how to win. But, I mean, we've proven it to them multiple periods, but we've got to put a full game together that we can just outwork them and beat them. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Aberdeen's obviously the front runner right now, but I think our locker room has like 100% belief that we can beat them. So.
2 more games against Bismarck, both of them, one tomorrow and one in 2 weeks. Winner of that series wins the Subway Cup. Is there any extra motivation in the locker room? Like, are you guys watching that for that sort of thing too?
Yeah, a little bit. It definitely boosts you a little bit. You know, you always want to win the Subway Cup. It's kind of a big deal between our two teams.
You won it last year too.
Yeah, it was definitely fun to win that.
We've won it every year it's existed.
Exactly.
But, also going back to kind of who's left on the schedule, a lot of that is going to determine how the playoffs shape up. Have you guys thought about potential playoff matchups? Do you care who we play in the first round? Or is at this point still just worry about getting the 12 points and get in and let the chips fall where they may?
I'd say we're just kind of focused on the stretch run here, and then we'll worry about who we have when we know.
Yeah, I agree.
So we're going to have one last segment before we wrap up the show today. 13 little questions just to get to know you guys a little bit better. So we're going to play a little this or that. So we'll start off super easy. Are you guys dog people or cat?
Dogs, 100%.
Dogs.
Man's best friend. Good call. Netflix, Hulu, or YouTube?
Ooh. I don't know. I watch all three. I'd probably have to go with Netflix.
I'm a Netflix guy.
Which do you hate doing worse? Kevin's cardio or Kevin's weightlifting?
Kevin's cardio.
Yeah, Kevin's cardio.
Instagram or Twitter?
Instagram. I don't even use Twitter.
I like Twitter. I'm on Twitter a lot.
Skins, it seems like you'd be more of a TikTok guy, actually.
Yeah. I'm on TikTok like all the time.
PlayStation or Xbox?
Xbox.
PlayStation.
Ooh. Coke or Pepsi?
I gotta go with Coke.
Yeah, Coke.
They do play at the Pepsi Arena, so.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Passenger or driver?
I'd rather be the driver.
I'd be the passenger, for sure.
Do you guys just feel safer being the whichever, or?
I definitely feel safer being the driver.
I just like to chill. I don't have to drive.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Pancakes, waffles, or French toast? Had to throw in the French toast there.
I gotta go with waffles.
I'll go French toast.
Yeah, that's the only right answer to that question. That's just, sorry, Skins, you're just wrong. You're just wrong. That's all there is to it.
Hot coffee or iced coffee?
Neither.
Iced coffee.
Real quick, Jay Stibby chimes in. Does a straight beat a flush?
It does not.
Dine in or delivery?
Probably dine in.
Yeah, dine in.
We'll go with 2 more here. Bus related questions. Do you watch a movie, sleep, or play shell?
I sleep.
He sleeps.
I sleep.
He'll sleep
The whole way?
Oh, yeah. I could get a good 12-hour night's rest before, and as soon as we get on the bus, I'll be out the whole way.
I've been watching Blacklist.
That's a great show.
It is.
That's a fantastic show right there. Last question. Chips or candy?
Candy.
Chips.
Chips.
I'm with Skins on this one.
Yeah,
Candy's
yeah.
the right answer. It's just like you're wrong. Candy's the answer. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Or both. Both is an acceptable answer as well, I suppose. But candy's got to be in there.
One more, actually, that's not on here. By you saying both,
Okay.
that makes me want to ask: is it bag or beg?
I say bag.
It's obviously bag.
Bag,
Bag.
They say
Bag?
beg.
beg.
He's in North Dakotan. He's gonna say it, the way you don't want him to.
Exactly.
They say beg.
It's obviously
My
bag.
big.
Gentlemen, appreciate you guys coming on Toros Weekly. This has been fun. So,
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
yeah.
Thank you.
Ken, big games this week. 6 points on the board for the Toros. Tomorrow against Bismarck, and then 2 against Austin.
Yeah, it's I think second place is still there for the taking. If we want it, we've got the games in hand. We've got 2 against Bismarck. Austin and Bismarck are going to play each other, so hopefully, I think
Can they both lose?
They've got 4 against each other, so hopefully, I think from our perspective, you root for a split so that neither team can really move that far up, and then we take care of business on our own, and second place, like I said, is there for the taking. But at the same time, we perform badly, and we could slide all the way out of the playoffs. So right now, I just got to take care of business, and starts with Bismarck tomorrow night, and then we get on the bus and go to Austin.
Exactly, and for the second time this
And I'll try not to die.
Yeah, try not to die, and well, if you do, I'll be there to help you
Yeah.
this weekend in Austin. So looking forward to that. A lot of games left here in the season. A lot of opportunities for you to come out and cheer on the Toros, whether it's at the Mesa or watching the Coda Cam on Facebook Live
Yeah, or Hockey TV.
or
and
Hockey
then,
TV.
Something we haven't really promoted yet. Next week, we've got the Wednesday game this week. Next week, Tuesday,
Oh yeah, the St. Patrick's Day game.
St. Patrick's Day game. We're giving out free Green Toros T-shirts with your first beer purchase. So you'll want to come out next week Tuesday, and then after that, it'll be Austin will be in town, and then another Tuesday game right after that. So a lot of chances to get down in the Mesa. A lot of fun stuff going on, and stay tuned to our social media for all those updates.
Yeah, and Toros Weekly will return to its normal Wednesdays the next couple of weeks. So we'll have a more recap show
Yep.
the next couple of weeks after playing on Tuesdays. For Ken Oda and our 2 guests, Sam Skinner and Kate Stibbe, Sean Bachhoven behind the scenes, as always, doing a fantastic job. I'm Peter Theodo, signing off on Toros Weekly live from the Bonfire Studios North.
Shut up and sit down.